so stop. Please so stop. Three, two, one.
Is there anyone here that would like to communicate with us?
Putting a dip in your hip, a glide in your stride. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe, with shows throughout the week. Everything you want, everything you could need. From the paranormal to the supernatural, from the spiritual to the unknown, from emotions to comedy. You can find us at Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and so much more. This is R.I.F.T Nation Network, the RNN. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
Good evening, Ghost Riders and you Paranormal Outlaws. I am the Hitman.
I am the Renegade.
And I'm the cowboy. Yee.
Yeehaw.
Ha. The Hangman will be joining us a little later. This is going to be a great show, but you know what? This is a show for these two. This is where I kind of get to take the host seat back, give the host seat forward to the other crews. Yeah, going into an accent, you guys. Y'all hear that? Going Western again. Got to get that personality out of there.
Well,
And we
yeah,
want to
no.
welcome everybody. So before we get started, I've had a really crazy day. I wanted to share this with you guys because it came out of absolutely nowhere. All right. So on air, I need to give some props to a couple of people because it was totally unexpected.
Do it.
So I got to give props to the cabin on 360. I got to give props to Ryan C. Jones and Dennis S. Locke. Hey, Miss Tammy. Hello, hello. Because today at 2 o'clock, I got a phone call and said, hey, I need you at the cabin at 4. Why? You know, he goes, because I want you to be a part of this. I'm like, part of what? He's like, I want you to be a part of Paranormal Magazine. I'm like, dude, are you serious? He goes, yeah, I want you to interview with me and Dennis. And I was like, totally touched. I'm like, dude, you know, that's y'all's thing. He goes, but you're one of our primary sponsors. You're our promoter, and you know if anybody has spent more time at this cabin than you, I don't know.
Nice.
Thanks, Chris. Brother.
Congratulations,
So
brother.
we spent from 4 o'clock to 7:30. Yeah, and I was rushing to get back here for the show. Getting interviewed by Danger and Eric and Mike and the guys and AJ and them. They were out there too. So be looking out for Paranormal Magazine and the Cabin on 360 because I'm a part of it.
Nice.
And so is the Rift. So I thought that was pretty cool. So I got to give props to them. Props to Paranormal Magazine for treating me so amazing. And the guys, it was just an amazing time. And, you know, I haven't done an interview like that in a very long time. And I was like, I don't know if I want to be in front of camera. No pun intended. But there it was, man. And I got to make sure I give props to them. I'm going to give props to Marty Siebel and everybody at Black Raven that do the tours at Stanton, Virginia for Stanton Ghost Walks, GOS. All that crew out there who worked so hard this year. I want to give props to them too. And everybody we're connected with. We have some new sponsors coming.
Nice.
And I'm not going to see more.
Sweet.
But, you know, 2023 was great for all of us. Keith and I kicked this in on the video side with this show. And we were so blessed for Renee, you joining us,
Yes.
the Renegade in the house.
Thank you for
And
having
then
me.
oh, absolutely. Have it no other way. And then to have the Hangman join us when he can, that really has defined the show. And we've got a new Paranormal Outlaw joining us in 2024. So this is going to be really cool. And with that, and thank you, Tammy. And thank you, Christopher. You guys are awesome. You Ghost Riders, y'all are just simply amazing. But tonight is not about me. Tonight is actually about the show and about these two. The subject is going to be talking about our spirit guides and our ancestors.
Yep.
This is where my brothers and sisters kick in, and I get to sit back and maybe put a little input here and there, but this is their show. So I'm sitting back and Keith, Renee, let's do this. What we got going on tonight?
Don't worry, man. We'll get you involved in the conversation sooner or
Definitely.
later. Especially since you got somebody standing behind you right now. So just saying.
I'm wondering if Mr. Curry did follow me. I did. Hey, Ashley. I did
Ash.
feel
Hey, girl.
Mr. Curry follow me, which he does once in a while. And you know what? He knows if he's not comfortable there at the cabin and needs to get away, he knows he can chill with me.
Plus, he likes.
And it may not be,
Plus, he likes the show.
right? He does. And then that's one of the things we talked about on the interview today, which was really cool. They were like, he interacts. I'm like, and you have no idea how. All right. Yeah. And Tammy's like, cool. Can't wait. Keith and Renegade. All right. Let's do this. So I know y'all have an agenda. We're going to talk about those special things and our friends on the other side.
Yes.
The other side.
The other side.
The other side.
Mm-hmm.
On
Which
the
is great to
other
be connected
side.
to once
And-
Right.
you get it going and in the right direction.
Yes. And I'm going to apologize ahead of time. I am having some difficulties with my speech due to knocking 3 teeth loose. So I'll do the best I can here.
You sound fine.
Mm-hmm. You sound
That's a
fine.
good thing. I've been practicing, so. Because I was talking like this. Not even, this is how I was talking.
Keefus.
Well, you are the cowboy.
Keefus.
There it is. Keithus.
I like to talk and stuff.
Especially about tacos.
Can you imagine him being like that with a 6-shooter? That's scary.
That is scary.
I got one.
I'm going to
Don't believe
shoot
it.
all 3 of you.
I got one. I could hold
Well,
her up. I
still.
think people would have issues with that, and we'd get reported real quick.
Yes.
Right. Steampunk. Oh, I'm sending y'all some more toys. I got an idea.
All right. Spirit guides and ancestors. They actually make up a huge portion of our paranormal cases that we do. Renee and I just got done doing a case. Not
Yeah.
the same where who it was. This person was referred to us by a pretty well-known demonologist in the paranormal community. They've had several other people look at it. Woman's got a demon.
Yep.
Okay, let's take a peek. So, we call. Hey, man, Jim.
Hey, y'all.
We call. We have the initial, video chat. Renee and I are looking around, the apartment as we're talking to her. Have her give us a tour. They're spirit guides. It was all her spirit guides trying to get her to get up, get moving. My dishes are rattling in the sink at night. Okay. Were they clean or were they dirty? Well, dirty. I hadn't done them in a few days. Try washing them and see if that stops. Stop. Several other things were going on. And like I said, it was nothing but her spirit guides. No demon, no nasties, no nothing. It was actually a pretty quick case. 2 phone calls, and everything's back to normal. So everything that goes bump in the night is not necessarily anything demonic or evil. Am I echoing?
Yeah, you are. Does
Yeah.
anybody else have 2 items going on? Like, is your phone and your speaker or your speakers up to? Because if so, turn your phone off or turn your speakers down. There we go.
Is that better?
That's better.
Nope. Hang on.
Huh. That's
Oh.
better.
Is that
It
better?
was you.
No, I can still hear it.
No.
It
I don't know.
is.
Let me mute my mic for a second.
Okay. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's on your end, Keith. No. Is it on my end?
Really?
Mute yours, Howie. Got it muted?
Yeah.
I can still hear the echo.
Huh. Is it me?
It was doing it before he popped on.
Was
Is it me?
It might be. Renee, you got anything else going on or speakers or anything?
I got everything shut off.
Wow, that's weird.
Let me.
It's not that bad right now. I don't know what you did, Keith. It's still a bit of an echo, but it's not that bad.
Let me try switching microphones.
Okay.
Oh, wait, let me try one thing here. Did that help? Nope.
That's intriguing.
Is it me? Mine's turned all the way down.
Check. Check. Hello.
Hello?
That's weird. It's coming from somewhere. I don't know.
Then again, could be ancestors trying to speak.
Thank you.
There you go.
Ancestors-
No.
I do have a lot.
I know Jim has a lot of
Big
questions,
constantly.
and Keith was just saying that I have company, so there's no telling. Intriguing.
Intriguing is right.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to mic myself unless I have something to say. Let's see if that'll work and help.
Okay. So I'm using my, for some reason, it's using my laptop mic instead of my other mic.
Ah,
And it won't let me switch over to this one.
Hmm.
Hang on 1 second. Oh,
it's unplugged.
Dun, dun, dun.
got a
Debunked!
issues.
Debunked. It's not paranormal.
See, I make a living on stuff like that with trucks.
Audio.
Oh, we hear you clear.
All right, can you hear me?
us?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
It's all good.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear us now?
That's the question.
Hang on.
You should have left it alone, man.
You cross the streams, man. That's what happens.
I can't hear you guys.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. See what happens when you're crossing the stream? See? Cluster.
Hey, Monica. Hello, hello, and thank you for
Hi,
joining us.
Monica.
We're talking about Steve's tonight and ancestors, which you may enjoy this show, Monica. Stick around. It's gonna be a good show for the Hangman too, because I know he has questions. Because this is probably, if anything, his Achilles
Let me
heel.
get the slappers ready.
Yeah, 'cause I've been. I'm sorry I got on late. I had something going on. I had to race home. I was worried about making it on time.
No good. You're good.
This
No worries.
Can you hear
we
me?
could go all night long.
What?
Can you hear me?
I can hear
Yeah.
you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, and the echo's still here.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Rhonda. Rhonda's in the house.
Rhonda. Hi, Rhonda.
I'm not doing it. Don't worry. I'm not saying it. I'm not singing
Turn
it
it down a
either.
little bit.
I don't need a nut kicker.
Nope.
I've been listening. I just got done working. Okay. Well, you guys, as we talk tonight, if y'all have any comments, anything, please just drop it in the
Yes,
chat. We'll
please.
discuss it and talk about it. It's in your head. I can hear it over here. Oh my God. Nope, I am not. You cannot hear it. I know what she's talking about. I'm not. Nope. I'm not saying nope.
Well, I was gonna say I do have a cousin, and that's why they named her Rhonda after a certain song. So I'm just
Yeah, please don't sing it.
No,
I,
I'm not.
I want to live
I'm not. So it might be me because I did say, oh well,
that way. Her
sorry.
fault.
All right.
Can I just? You're right. I have to. Look, speaking of which, there's the devil himself. Now blame it on him, Rhonda. It's his fault. Robert's in the house. What's going on? Merry Christmas, brother.
I have no idea what's going on. I don't know what.
You sound okay. Yeah, you sound fine, dude.
It's all right.
Yeah, Robert did it.
Way to go, man.
We're blaming it all on Robert. And he's going to go, what did I do? Great. Now it's in my head.
Getting back to my story here. One case we had, something was taking her cigarettes and throwing them.
Hey, Kelly.
Taking her lighter, throwing it. She could see it. They'd just jump. Well, what that was her father, who had recently passed, that was always on her to quit smoking.
Oh.
As soon as she acknowledged it and promised him that she would quit smoking, guess what stopped flying? Can be something as simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I had something similar happen to that with my grandparents. Story I was always told. You remember the big, thick, huge ashtrays glass ashtrays from like the 60s, 50s?
Yeah,
My
that you
grandma
could
had
use as a
one
weapon.
Yeah. She had one inside the kitchen table. And she was still smoking. Everybody else quit. One day she looked, that thing she heard a sound and it just cracked right in half.
Yep.
I mean,
Yes,
like
sir.
you couldn't crack it more perfect. It was perfectly in half.
Right down the middle.
Yep.
That's saying hello. Wake up. You need to
Mama
stop something.
So
So Does this now? I will say this. This could possibly also be something around the lines of Emily Rose once again, because what we think is a haunting is nothing more than merely our ancestors or our spirit guides trying to communicate with us. Is that correct? Is that what y'all are saying?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, because
They're
honestly,
sending us-
at my grandma's house, that's all it was all our ancestors that were there. And I believe that's what it was, because I mean that family farms was in my family for over 200 years. You know, there's a lot of family blood, sweat, and tears in that land.
chances are they all might have hung around for a while.
I'm pretty sure of it. I mean, there was stories I grew up with, and they're actually I always wanted to go through and do an investigation on the house just because of that fact. But fortunately, nowadays the house was torn down about 4 or 5 years ago after my grandma passed.
Gotcha, man. I hear that.
So
Your guys working with you can be you're driving down the road, you need to turn right, and you hear left. So you look left and you go left. They may know something's going to happen to you down there. You may actually feel a hand on your face, physically turn your head. You need to see this. That can happen in the road, that can happen in your home. Sometimes it might leave a little mark or a little scratch. It's energy transfer. They're not trying to hurt you. They're trying to guide you in the direction that you need to go.
Not only that, sometimes too, you need to remember your ancestors and you need to remember where you come from. And this time, day and age, a lot of people have forgotten where you come from, your lineage.
It is. Today's day and age, like you said, we are working all the time. We work, we come home, we sleep. We work, we come home, we sleep.
Yep.
A lot of people got to work weekends, second shift, third shift. It ain't the same as it used to be. You know, back in the day, one person can support an entire household.
Yeah.
Now
you need 2 or 3.
2 incomes, 3 incomes, and people are still struggling.
Yep.
Plus, we're stretched out all over the United States, all over the world now. It used to be families kept close together.
Sunday dinner, Sunday supper.
Yeah.
I mean, my family, I got a brother that's in Germany. I got a sister that lives up in Michigan. All my family's in Michigan. My dad lives down in Texas. I'm here in North Carolina.
Yeah. It's the thing, you know, my mom's an hour away and I have a hard time finding the time to get up there to see my mom, my sister, brother-in-law, my other sister lives 2 hours away. It's difficult for us to get together because of scheduling.
It is.
You know, the days of getting together on Sunday, every Sunday and having supper, that's pretty much done.
Yeah. I mean, when I was a kid, that's what we did every Sunday. We met up at Grandma's house and everybody sat and had dinner. It'd be an all day thing.
Yeah. After they passed, it stopped.
Yep.
They were the glue that was holding that together.
That's right.
So let me ask this then with that. So I'm going to ask y'all, we went positive. Let's look at negative right now. We always hear someone state, I'm going to haunt you when I die. Right?
Yep.
So what do y'all think is the percentage of ancestors haunting you based on thing going on? If there was bad blood between you and a family member and they pass, do y'all feel that there's a possibility that you're going to be haunted by an ancestor? I mean, we hear about it. It's in stories and legends. Bill, how do you feel about that?
It's happened. It has happened. If you're in life, guess what? Chances are you're going to be in death. And they need to be dealt with. If you can't reason with them, you got to figure out a way to get them to leave. If you can't make them leave, they got free will, then you need to talk to your client and figure out what they're willing to do to change the issue. Are they willing to have a conversation with this person? Do they want to move? What's your solution? What do they feel most comfortable doing? I have had to ask for help with this. Hey, this guy's refusing to cross over. He's got free will. Can you maybe send a message? Persuade.
Mm-hmm.
It's difficult sometimes to reason with them. They may have done something to the living person, and the living person called them out on it, so they got ticked off and attacked the living person because they got busted. Could be vice versa. You need to get down to the truth of the matter, what actually happened, and then the discussion needs to happen. So hopefully understanding, forgiveness, and then most times that's go where it needs to go.
Absolutely. Got a couple things. Robert did bring a good point. So emotions are running high at Christmas time for people and unrested spirits, I believe.
Yes.
That's a perfect statement.
Yep.
Yeah. That can encourage your
Any
ancestors to give
holiday.
you a spiritual aspect. Yeah.
Yeah. And speaking of holidays, keep in mind your ancestors, your lost ones, are probably there with you. Acknowledge them. Maybe play a song that they used to listen to. Maybe make a food item for your meal that they used to make.
Set a place.
Set a plate for them. Absolutely.
See, a lot of cultures have that as tradition. When they go
Yeah.
for a holiday feast, they always set an empty table place just for loved ones,
Yes.
lost loved ones.
Monica said,
Absolutely.
for an odd thing in our family, every set of twins had a tragedy. Oh.
Generational curse.
Mhm.
And hair on my arms just stood up. I know a person that actually still feels her twin, her past twin. It's crazy. She's not used to it,
Yeah.
but it does happen. Their bond is so strong that the past twin stays. It's cool, but it's strange at the same time.
Yeah.
Strange. The word strange. I like that. It's a strange because it's not of the norm. It's just like, and y'all were talking about when I asked the question about hauntings of an ancestor, it does make us go back and think, for those of us that are in paranormal research and investigation, isn't that what we should be doing with all the spirits? Negative and positive, try to calm it down. Really,
Yeah.
because the real problem is not the person there, it's the spirit. Why did they become unrested?
Yeah, spirits can be clients as well.
Yes.
Yes.
Sometimes they need
I
help.
feel like some spirits, some entities are actually, they're there because of unsolved business, unsolved issues that need to be taken care of. Whether it's something lost or whether it's something they didn't say to something, or they feel like they need to protect what's there.
I mean, I can speak on that myself. My grandmother, she died when she was 39 years old. I never got to meet her. My mother was told of siblings because that's what started my journey on actually figuring out and seeing who I'm connected to and wanting more family. I really truly believe the 2 times I died, why she was there and why I was brought back, and she was a big force in this, was because I was the one to break the generational curse and I was the one to heal for her because she couldn't do it on the other side.
You know what?
I
Speaking of
did
which,
it
real
for
quick, like she's
So I'm-
talking. No, go ahead.
And-
Whitney.
and it's amazing because my mother was told this story. Well, as it enveloped and folded, my mother was not one of 4; she was one of 7. And I have accounted for every single one of them. Whenever I had a roadblock, whenever I had an issue or wanted to give up, it was not weird because weird doesn't jive with me anymore. Coincidence doesn't drive with me anymore. It's a calling. I would reach out to her and I'd say, Nana, you need to give me something because I've exhausted everything that I possibly can. I lay my eyes down. I close my eyes. I go to sleep. I wake up in the morning. I have an email to find out this DNA match of who it is, and it's my mother's half brother. And my mother's like, "What do you mean?" And when I called him, and he goes, "Hold on here. What? There was 6 of us," because he didn't know.
Right.
So in that process, I have the ones that we have found that are living, the ones that are past. I feel that I've done my grandmother justice.
Absolutely.
Because what's happened, they're all, I mean, yes, on the other side, are they all together? Yes. But now I think me shining a light on her on the other side, they found her. So they were all connected. So she could say, I'm sorry, this is what happened. I may not know the story. My lucky thing is when it's my time and I go home, I get to know what that story was. Because I have a story in my mind here, but I really want to know the truth. And I won't know that till I can meet her. And that's why I always say, when I pass, I hope it's her that comes and gets me.
And that's what Kelly just put here. Past family can come and go watching you. Mom's sister did it with her. Absolutely. Now, let's bring to light something. Would anybody believe that there's a possibility of this man and that woman and me having the same bloodline or in that bloodline? Well, this is 3 generations. 3 generations. And both of them are from my grandfather's side.
We are related.
Yes.
We are blood related. Renee has shown it. But it's very interesting that both of them are through my grandfather.
Yes.
So it's funny how it's like they bring you together too.
Yes, they do.
And my mother adored Jim.
Oh. Sorry.
You okay over there?
Yeah, I'm good.
Did you just get a spiritual bitch slap?
No.
No, that was the tingle.
Oh, yeah, the back. And my back doesn't normally go off like that.
See, and I got this. I
So
get
we're-
the back of the head going.
That's
Done good,
verification.
girl. Done, girl.
That's the verification.
You know,
Because I'm sure when I reached out to you, Howie, and said, "Hey, can I ask you something?"
is your father's name Fred B. Odell?
I go, "Is your father?" And he goes, "Yeah, why?" I then sent from me through my grandfather's line going, "Well, your dad is my 8th cousin. My cousin."
And I was like, isn't that a small world?
They're related to Burgess.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And Keith, here's another part. This will mess with any. Keith is a splitting image of my grandfather. My grandfather Odell. He's a splitting image of him. Except for, he's got long hair and he had a thinner mustache, but his body frame, his height,
But I can
everything
see
is
it.
my grandfather.
I can see.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, look at Keith and you look at Robert. If you had Robert with hair,
Yeah, you're right.
Yep.
they have the high cheekbones, the long head, the forehead. Him and Robert look a lot alike if you gave Robert hair and that goatee. And if you took the hair away from Keith,
Oh, it's happening.
Yeah.
It's happening.
And then the Coinky Dink with Keith and I is he was asking questions about his spot, right? Your Incus.
Anki.
Yeah, Anki, right? And I was like, what does that name sound familiar? And I went and I looked at my tree and I said, Keith, we're related. And he goes, what? I said, through grandma.
And that makes perfect sense. You got gifts. I got gifts. I got my gifts from my grandma, honestly.
Yep.
She was put in a mental asylum for schizophrenia. She heard voices. She wasn't sick. She heard voices, real voices talking to her, spirits talking to her.
Well, see, that's where I believe that the gifts in my side of the family, I believe, and I did some research over the summer, is all my aunts and uncles on my mom's side of the family all have some sense of being able to feel when a spirit or entity is around.
Yeah.
Some of my family don't want to admit it, but they admitted it. They don't want anything to do with it. It's like, okay, it's there. Okay. I have one uncle who believes, but he's like, I've never seen anything to convince me that there is something. So
it's a thing, man.
It is.
I mean, now with spirit guides and ancestors watching over you, when we were talking about that, I honestly, I don't know. I have my confirmation because I started getting tingly. Like all the hairs on my arm started standing up. That's usually my thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think I know a couple of who it could be, but I'm not 100%.
So Ashley just asked, so can gifts always be handed down?
Possible.
Possible.
But I'd like to throw this in. Especially if you've gone through a lot of trauma throughout your life. Sometimes your gifts don't start showing up. You don't start noticing them. They're there, but you don't start noticing them until you start to heal from some of that trauma.
Yeah.
That gets that out, it makes room, it clears your mind, clears your heart. Therefore, you're able to receive the downloads that open things up.
Yep.
And the more you do this, seems like the better and stronger gifts are, and the more kick in.
Yep.
It's not flipping a switch.
Exactly. It's not.
Now, see, me with my family, we were very open about talking about paranormal and stuff. And so I learned over the years that I could feel something and they would confirm it. You know, so it's like I need to find out with my nephews and my daughter if they actually have something like that. You know, but I'm waiting. My oldest nephew, I could, but he's up in Michigan, and I haven't had a chance to go out and do anything with him, although he's begging me to. He loves it. He wants to get into it, but I want to teach him how to do it right.
Yeah, there you go.
That's the important thing is do it right and do it proper.
That's right.
Ashley comes out with, my granny was gifted, but you aren't wrong. I always have seen things, but it was scary until now. I realized they were meant to help me. Kelly replies with, took me over 30 years to figure out mine.
Yep.
And it's the thing when I was little, things were happening around me. I would know things. Excuse me. Like I would look over, say, the phone's gonna ring, and sure enough, here's the phone ringing, and my grandfather's looking, going, "What?" You know. And then also too, I had a very religious family members that were like, "It is the worst thing ever. Oh my God, no, we've got to shut this down now because we got to go save this child. The devil in her, the demons in her. It's bad."
It's exactly the opposite.
You know,
is
which
spirit.
which happens, you know, and then when you're little and you see things and you're like, wait a minute, what? You know, and they're hovering over your bed and you're like, what is this? You get scared.
Yeah,
And
and
the first thing you do is hide.
you get conditioned. There's no such thing as ghosts. There's no
Yep.
such thing as ghosts. There's
Yep.
no such thing as ghosts.
Yeah.
So you quit seeing things because you don't know you are, but you shut your gifts down. You are conditioned, EI brainwashed into believing there are no such thing as ghosts. Yes,
That's like
there are.
my sister. She did it to herself. She's like, look, I know they're there. I don't want to experience it. So she shut it off. She won't even tell me the things that she experienced, but I know some of the things she experienced.
You got to be careful shutting your gifts off because that can actually cause physical damage to your body. Your body and your spiritual body has no outlet for everything coming in, and it can do damage.
Yes.
Do you think it could? So, do you think it creates like a mental damage or mental disconnect by doing that?
Hmm?
I'm asking for a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it can.
Yeah.
Not me.
It can drive you nuts.
Yeah.
Because you've got all this information coming in at you, and you are blocking it out, and it's going to build and build and build. So you have all this energy trying to enter you, and your body has no outlet to deal with it, so it starts attacking itself because you have no outlet to get this energy out. You can overload your system with energy, just like you can overcharge a battery on a car. You can overcharge yourself.
I hope somebody's listening to that. I hope he heard just what you said because he needed to hear that.
Yeah.
Spirit said somebody, hint, hint, needed to hear that tonight.
I needed to say it just like that.
I mean, I'll tell a little bit about me. I mean, I had a massive heart attack at 30. Died while having the catheterization done. It was just years of headaches and not so much stress, but just headaches, and then just me going, how am I doing this? What are you talking? Like hearing voices, thinking that I'm going to shrinks, them saying, oh, maybe you're schizophrenic, maybe you're this, maybe you're that, taking meds that I didn't need the meds because I'm not crazy, you know, which was not healthy for me. But
Right.
in the process, I blew a fuse. I popped. And I was like, okay, started to dabble into things, started to look at things again. And then I was like, all right, I'm not really quite sure. And then that's why I always say like how I met Keith is I thought legit I had an attachment. I called him and said, hey, this is what's going on. And Keith goes, no, you're just gifted. And this is what's going on. I can't tell you your gift because you need to figure that out on your own, you know, and I will help you along the way. And as time went on, talks, started listening more, found the RNN, found the Orion effect, started listening and going, wait a minute, there's more people out here. Wait a minute, that hits a chord. Wait, that hits, this hits. And the puzzle pieces were starting to come together and gluing and sticking. And then,
God, Jesus.
you know, basically, and then said, oh, shit. I know what I am.
Where are you,
That's
YouTube?
right.
Sorry,
And I
Facebook.
know things. And that just, I know things. I
Yes.
have a connection. It's like I look at this. It's ring a telephone. I pick it up. I'm given a message. And if I don't, I've learned in the past month and a half, if I don't give this to somebody or speak it or type it, I have a battery acid, like literally, like battery acid taste in my mouth. If I don't say this, it affects my health. So therefore, I have to get that message out.
Yes. But we have to be careful, as you know, the timing. Is this the right place? Is this the right time? Are these the right words? Is this the right process? But yeah, and I cracked that joke just in case any of the spirit mechanics are watching, because they now call me
Hey,
Short
Steve.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, see, I know with mine, I didn't really have it honed or anything. I didn't know how to control it
Yeah, that's the thing.
until I met up with Howie.
I don't know what you're
us-
talking about.
Well, us talking and going into the field and everything worked really good. Taught me a
Yeah.
lot.
Let me catch up here because I want to make sure everybody's here. Ashley said I would see a lady in the kitchen that scared me so bad, but I truly believe she was there to help me. Was going through bad stuff. Robert replies, here we go. You're right, Keith, about it cutting off is messed up. I called it 9/11 shut down. Let me explain that before we go to Ashley. Well, look, Steve, that was funny. I love that. He just said probably the hat. Ashley goes, oh shit. Well, now I don't feel alone. I get middle taste. There you go. Let me go back to explain what Robert just said. Robert did get really frustrated back in the time. He did have premonitions of 9/11 2 weeks prior to the event. And to have that and then be able to do nothing about it, he shut down.
Understandable.
Understandable.
With that, that's why I wanted him to hear that
Yeah.
if you shut it down, you could create more issues than keeping it going and flowing and understanding it. Because we back then in the 80s, in the 90s, we didn't know where to go to help us grow and understand what we were experiencing.
So we hid.
So
Yep,
you hit.
we all hid.
Yep.
I did.
I'll admit it. I hid.
That's part of this. That's part of the damage I have here was me shutting my down.
That's me too, because I mean, I ended up having stomach issues for a long time. Now I don't.
Yeah. I mean, he pulled himself out for 8 years. So, yeah, Jim's right. I can see that too. I want to talk about something else, and then we can move into maybe helping people understand their spirit guides and their ancestors. Let's talk about spirit communication real quick. And when I say that, there's usually that period of time after a loved one has passed, usually. And then they'll carry on by doing different other acts. But how many of you out there, Ghost Riders, have ever experienced a phantom phone call from a number that you should have never gotten a call from a loved one you should have never gotten that call from? That now I'm going to give an example of this because I'm glad you guys raised your hand. When my father passed away in 2003, 4 days later, at the house on which he passed at, with the telephone number, I was there, received a phone call from the telephone number of the house. So this is a part of spirit and ancestor communication. They're trying to communicate the best way they can. And, you know, for my pop, what's the best way to do it? Let me get your attention, because this is the way you're going to wake up and see. How is it that your telephone number is calling you? Damn. It happened when my wife passed away this year.
Yes.
It happened when my mother passed away. Not a phone call, but there was something else. Now, in that, I'm going to continue this and I'll hand it back over to everybody else. Look for pennies, look for dimes, look for quarters. Look for the unusual things that they would leave, like feathers, unusual notes. When your phone starts acting weird and texting by itself, when you get emails out of nowhere. Yeah, I know. I just got you, didn't I?
When your phone texts yourself a message that you did not type.
Exactly. So let me hand this one over to them about spirit communication and then we can work into, hey, how to work with your ancestors and your guides. So I'm going to hand that over to you guys, and let's talk about spirit communication.
Phone calls. Your TV popping on, a show you wouldn't normally watch. Watch it.
Mm.
Yep.
Radio, that song that hits. It didn't just randomly come on. It came on for a, I'm not going to say it, reason.
Darn good reason.
Right. There we go.
I was ready.
Hey, where's my F-bomb, by the way? I know. I'll get it when you get your hat. I know.
I also have that.
Hey.
I mean,
Renee?
I got an actual. I got up one night. It was, believe it or not, 11/11, which plays a huge part in my life. Got up, don't know why. Got up, walked out of the bedroom, walked into the hallway, stood in the hallway, and said, "Okay, what? I'm going back to bed." Opened what through my door, and here comes my grandfather, who I know is alive and well at 11/11 in his apartment. Walk right in front of me, past me, looked right me dead in the eyes, and said, "I will always love you. I am your lighthouse. Remember." And walked right out my window.
Lighthouse.
The light in the dark.
Right.
Yep.
The next day, I got a phone call at 10:29 from the hospital saying something had happened and they were looking for my mother. And I jokingly said, "Oh, what did he do? Fall off the shopping bus again?" I said, let me get off. I'll call you back. I called my mother. I sat on the bed and I went, "He's gone." My mother called me and said, "You need to sit down. I have to tell you." And I said, "Mom, it's okay. He's gone."
Yeah.
24 hours later. So, I mean, that's what I've had. I've had, after my grandmother passed, staying in her house, walking upstairs, smelling perfume that only she would wear.
Yeah.
And the rocking chair that she would sit in was rocking with nobody else in that house. And I literally just walked in the house. Like, so I can't say somebody left, rocking. And what she said, "You'll know it's me because it's my bedroom." Because she thought she had a portal in her bedroom, like all her ancestors and everybody, her husband, everybody would come and visit her through there. So she goes, "If you need me, sit in the rocking chair." So, and it was me, because I had said coming in saying, "Graham, I really would like to talk to you right now." And what was she, and where was she always? Sitting there, rocking in her rocking chair.
I want to bring this up for a reason real quick. Hold on, Keith.
Yeah.
Because something just happened. So I need Robert, can you confirm if you're speaking about mother, father, aunt? The reason is because we just lost my aunt. And I just wanted to clarify which Fleetwood Mac was he referring, connecting it to mom, dad, or Aunt Ann. Because I know my connection with my father is definitely Stevie Nicks. Talking about the mountain. So I needed to clarify that with Robert real quick about that one. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just want to make sure that was clarified.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Building this house, framing these walls. When I started, there was no second floor. I forgot to measure the studs that I took out. So I'm sitting here. How tall do I make the studs? I couldn't figure it out. I was having a blocker. So I asked my grandpa. He used to be a woodworker. He made all kinds of stuff. "Grandpa, I can't figure it out. Can you help me?" And all of a sudden, a number popped in my head. And I couldn't figure out why it was that exact number. So I went over there to my doorway. So that's where I started. I had a few up, and I wrote the numbers on the wood, and I worked with them. It added up to 1111. But that is the exact measurement that I needed to make those numbers. I work with numbers. They talk to me through numbers. We each probably have a specialty that we don't even realize until we do realize it. Some may be smells, some sights, some hearing, some feeling, some touching. Food.
Like you said earlier, food. I have to back that up by saying, one of the things that is a memory catcher for me now was when I was a young kid, it was all about yogurt. And evidently I ate yogurt like crazy when I was a kid and stopped eating it. But now I can smell standard yogurt, the tangerine yogurt, and black cherry. And it just automatically brings me back to my mom. So I will go with that. I agree with that one. Yeah.
I mean, that's like me and my grandfather had talks, and he always said, which then I remembered these talks, and I said, wow, I think I know where I got my gifts from. Because he would always say these things. He would say, remember baby powder. Remember the smell of seaweed. Remember the smell of pine tree. Remember cedar. So remember Old Spice aftershave. And what was that blue one? Electro Glide. Is that what it? I don't know. What's the blue aftershave that they don't even make anymore? And
blue aftershave. You talk about Brute?
Not Brute. It was blue. And
Aquavelva.
Aquavelva.
That's it.
Well,
And those peppermint. And when I know he's here or stopping by, that's what I get. The baby powder is a huge one for him. So,
okay. Yeah, go ahead and read it.
There are people who know everything. You'll never hear from them because they were chosen. But there are people there are people alive who can access the source of everything. They don't have easy lives and die young usually. And that is 100% true, in my opinion.
Agreed.
I agree.
And Rhonda's backing us up with the Aquavelva.
yes, that's it.
I can still see it in Dad's medicine cabinet.
Now, see with smells in my family, all my aunts and uncles, and even my cousins, we'll just get random. We'll be anywhere, and we'll all of a sudden just get a random whiff of Old Spice, and that's our grandpa.
Yeah,
grandpa.
Chocolate chip cookies. That's my grandma.
Yep.
Yeah,
Wood.
Marlboro Reds is my dad.
Wood. That's my grandpa. You run a board through a saw. You smell that sawdust.
Yep. Love that smell.
Yep.
Old Spice. Yep, I know. That's what I said. You're right. Dad's thing was Old Spice.
I mean, some of my treasured things that I've actually, because I have an altar out to, and I make sure I have a picture of every single ancestor that I have. If I don't, at least their name is in a frame. So then, like, their name is spoken into existence. So their life is breathed back into their
Wow, that's a great idea, Renee.
That's how I handle things. And I've always put something small that represents them. So, like, I have his Aquavelva bottle, I have his Old Spice bottle, I have his old the shaving cup with the actual frother and his blade. That's the kind of stuff that I have. I try to keep something because to me it's keeping them here, not here per se, but the ability to be able to move back and forth without an issue.
Yes,
absolutely.
And I know exactly what you're talking about, actually.
Yep. There it is. And Linda, hey Linda, I didn't see you sneak in. Hello, how are you?
Linda.
She is growing. I am so proud of Linda. I am so proud of Linda. I want to put that on the air since she's here.
Yes.
She's come so long. She's gone through all her health. Her mental spirit is coming back. She's becoming power again. I just want to say I'm proud of you. I am proud of you, Linda.
Yes, proud of you.
It's okay. We don't mind you sneaking in late. You never know with us.
The witch or wizard is never late. They arrive exactly when they intend to.
That's right.
Yes. So, oh, you're more than welcome. More than welcome. So these are great things, and we learned, communication, how they can communicate to us, and I'm sure there's more ways. We're just looking at the major stuff that we miss times or freak us out. That we're just going, okay, they're here.
Yep.
They're acknowledging, and we need to acknowledge them when they acknowledge it,
Yes.
which we fail to do. We get scared instead of show our love. Or it's too early and we see that phone call and we cry. They don't want us to cry. They want us to be happy. I'm okay.
Yeah. They want us to be happy for them. They aren't stuck here anymore. They aren't in pain anymore. They have their faculties back. They are reunited with their lost family members that they lost.
Mhm.
We need to be
And
happy.
also they this is my opinion, they choose the best time in their life of how they appear. So if they were 16 and that's like whatever it may, like that was like the most freest time that they had, they're 16, they're 16. Like in my dreams, in my meditation, when I see my grandfather's 22 years old. And that's what he shows me.
I'm going to back that up by this little story. My daughter, was born after my father passed, exactly 1 month after. When he was 4.5 years old, he was getting ready to go to his daycare, and he turned to my wife then and said, "I see Grandpa." And she turned around and says, "Well, what does he look like?" Well, he's got no hair like Daddy, and he's wearing glasses, and he's got a red vest and a white shirt and tan pants and brown shoes. Now, he had never seen a picture of this picture and never had seen his grandfather. That was the exact uniform he used to wear when he worked for Pleasance Hardware.
I was going to say that's a hardware uniform.
That's the Pleasance Hardware uniform. How can anybody explain that except for my father was there?
No.
He showed himself because my daughter is in tuned and can see, and he just want to acknowledge it. I'm going to show myself to you so you know everything's good.
Yep.
So, and Ashley goes, "Yes, Renee, I agree. My gramps showed up at like 30 in his Coast Guard outfits. There you go. Another one. I agree.
My grandfather, anytime he comes to me like how I remember when I was little. And he would always come in. He was an old farmer. He'd come in with a big old smile on his face, wearing work pants like I wear to work. And he'd be wearing like a green John Deere, dirty old jacket and his nice John Deere hat.
Is Christy there, or did you have a Folly spirit? Folly
No,
spirit.
he got a message.
I did. I need to clean my bathroom.
Oh, stinky poo poo, man. Stinky poo poo.
Where I work, it's a plastic factory. And plastic, when it's warmed and injected, it actually gases.
Right.
And so it gets on you. I can wash my face 5 times a day and come home and I can take a white tissue, rub it across my forehead. It's orange. So what do you think gets deposited on the base of my bathtub when I take a shower?
Right.
I just heard noises up there and I saw my shadow. So I guess I'll be cleaning the shower tomorrow.
You got to clean the shower, homie. Mama Susan goes, my dad has his Elvis hair and smokes Riled in his t-shirt. Okay. Well, there you go. These are people that are, and I love it when everybody starts talking and communicating. So let's not hanger into this too much. Let's really get into it. It's past 10:05. We always know that this show could go as long as we want it to, but I'm getting cold. I'm getting tired. So I'm going to try to keep going with you guys. Let's get really into how can we help people understand their spirit guides. You two, I'm going to give it home back to you guys, our spirit guides, our ancestors. How can we better communicate? I know Rhonda's in here and Mama Susan's here, so I'm sure they can put in a couple words too. Let's just help people tonight. That's what it's about.
When you're going to sleep at night or having a nap during the day, whatever, you got some background music. This is an example. Say you got some background music. Your fan's on, your TV's on, your radio's on. Right before you go to sleep, I'm sure you've all noticed it sometime or another. All of a sudden, you realize you can't hear it anymore. Your brain is still functioning, but your body is asleep. That is the perfect time to ask questions, to ask for guidance, because you're in between realms. You're not only here, but you're there too.
And give them permission.
Yes. Now, permission. Guides, they can kick your ass.
Yes.
Okay? They can kick your ass all day long if they want to because they got free will. Now, your angelics, you need to give your angelics permission to help and guide you because they have rules. They can't interfere on our free will. Therefore, we have to ask for help. You need to be very specific in what you ask for. It would be like asking a 6-year-old to help you with something. Boom, here's this idea. Make it happen. Might not be the best idea, but it'll get the job done if you don't fight it. So be as specific as you can when you talk to your angels.
I have to say this. I'm sorry. I just had a huge muscle cramp, and that's why I was like freaking out. I was like, I couldn't even breathe. And I know it
What the heck?
but I'm just saying it hurt like hell. So I'm sorry.
Either that or that was somebody poking, saying, listen.
Yeah, okay. I'll go with that.
And where that cramp is can actually be a message in itself. That can be a message about health. That can be a message if it's in your leg, you need to get up and go somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, if it's in your butt, you need to quit sitting on your butt. Get up and walk it, work it, move it.
Work it, boy. Move it.
Move it.
Move it, move it. You got to move it, move it. You got to move it.
Yeah, and we're talking about ancestors and spirit guides. You also have to remember spirit guides can be. I've had some people come up to me going, I don't understand. I have no Native American in me, but there's a Native American that follows me. It's because they chose you.
Yes.
For whatever reason, they chose you. I'm not one of these people like, you come up and it's like they pull out the book and they go, hey, okay, you need to go to this one, and this one, and you go to this one, and this one. They're not assigned.
They're like, I like this guy. I'm going to help him out. And you may not always have the same guides with you all the time. They take shifts. They get tired too of our bullshit. And they need a break from us once in a while. So they will actually take shifts.
I like that. Ryan just joined us. Everybody say hello to Ryan.
Hey, Ryan.
I use guided meditation to reach my spirit guide.
Yeah.
They help me stay focused. I grate that. That's a great point, Ryan.
I do too.
Steve hits in there, judge a tree by its fruit. Same with spirits. Good spirits cannot bring forth bad fruit. Oh,
But a good guy can still kick your butt so you pay attention.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I agree.
Especially if they're sitting there and they're like, hey, 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 and you keep ignoring and you keep ignoring and you keep ignoring and you keep ignoring. The poke becomes a slap in the face or a Charlie horse or, or
Knock
whatever
them
it is. Yep.
So how do we-
What happens when you tell your kid not to do something over and over and over? You get upset with them. You pop them on the ear. Listen to me. You raise your voice. Listen to me. Okay, you're grounded. Sit down. I'm gonna make you think about this. You sit down.
So how do you if you've never done it before, if you're unfamiliar with communicating to spirit or with ancestor, how do you start out with this? I mean, this is something that people need to understand too, is how do you take that moment? What's that first step for someone to reach out to their ancestor or guide?
How I did it, speak and talk to them. Just as I'm like, when I'm having I need some guidance, like I need some old school backwoods Maine advice. I go, Poppy, this is what this issue, and can you give me something?
Yeah.
And I don't get it right away. It's not like it's a phone call and it's here. I mean, I started dabbling in meditation, which I was like, I don't like. You can't put me under, like you can't hypnotize me, like this doesn't work. I went on YouTube, and there's 3 people that I follow, and I was having a really bad time with grief when it was coming with my grandfather. I found this fabulous YouTube that helped me with my grief and helped me understand it. And I had a conversation with him. That's when I went, this shit works.
Huh?
And it was simple.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, studying meditation, tarot cards, ask them to speak to you through tarot cards.
So divination tools.
Yeah.
They'll give you guidance. They'll give you messages, but sometimes you have to decipher what that message is. They'll talk to me in my dreams, and my dream will be, I use this example a lot. I will be a cat in a suit of armor with a sword and an AR-15 riding a shark, jumping out of the water with the sunshine in the background, and I'm supposed to figure out what that means.
I mean, I could back that. I could back Keith's up with one. The longest time, because I also astro, so I work. So when I leave, I always had 2 dragons pick me up. I never understood who the hell the 2 dragons were, and then as me and Keith were becoming better friends, and he's like, "Well, is one purple?" And I went, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, that's me. I'm not going to let you go out without training wheels and having somebody to help you. Are you? I'd be crazy not to help you. And then as it progressed, I said, I had this dream, and I said, or this vision. I said, I take the truck, like his truck.
Oh yeah.
Like I get the keys at the house, and I take the truck. And I said to him one day, I said, I know this is going to sound really strange, but I get in you every night because you're the truck. Because Keith is the truck.
Well. That's reverse.
Which I have to throw that little Scorpio. Hello. You gotta remember, I have Scorpio in my Doug at my 12th house, so I always have to make sure I let that out. So that's something where it took a while for me to figure out that it's like I don't go out alone.
Yeah, me, you, and Michelle, and some other people were out in the truck, and Michelle's in the back with a with a 50 cal shooting at something. We're like, what are you shooting at? I don't know, just go, you know. And that was one of the very few that I remember, but I had to be reminded of it before I could remember it.
Yep.
And she was shooting at something damn big,
Yep.
let me tell you.
Oh, I got company. So let me do this. So, Jim, what questions would you have for them to be able to reach your guide?
Well, talking tonight, hearing about ancestors and stuff, I had confirmation earlier tonight when we were talking about grandfathers and stuff, about the phone calls and items and things. And it made me think of my grandpa. He passed away back in '97, I believe. And
Before you go there, can I say something?
huh?
We must remember, and this is from spirit to you. We also have to remember spirit can help us resolve issues.
Yes.
Go ahead, Jim.
Well, when we were talking about that, I felt like someone was here beside me, and I didn't know, I couldn't pin who. But as we were talking about that, I started thinking about a week after my grandpa passed, I found a couple of 50-cent pieces, and he always collected them. Yeah. And as soon as I did that, everything went off. It was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know? But as for a guide, you know, it's been so long since I listened to my guide, I forgot how to actually listen, how to find them, how to look for them. I guess from what I'm getting tonight is I need to learn how to meditate.
We get so busy in our lives, we're busy at work. I work with 12,000-pound moles on, you know, in the air. I have to be paying attention to what I'm doing. Yeah. Otherwise, somebody could get seriously hurt. And then I come home and I'm working on the house. You know, I'm not paying attention to messages. I'll catch them, but I'll forget them because I'm working. So sometimes I just need to sit down and let everyone catch up. And then I get directions to go. I was sitting watching TV today. I was taking a break. And last night, make a list. Okay. So I sat down and made a list of everything I need to do today. And then I was sitting here and something that was not on my list. You need to look at this on the computer. Okay. So I have 19 browsers open on my other window, and there may be some music that's paused, just saying. But I got studying to do to get this taken care of. But messages and some things to look at. Yeah. Yeah. Clearing this mind? Ain't no clearing this mind.
Mm-mm.
No. This thing, there are a million ideas running through the brain at all times when I am awake. And it is so loud in here, it's difficult to hear myself think. I've tried. It won't shut down. It won't. It just runs and runs and runs. So when somebody is just talking to me about going to Walmart and it's going to be a 3-hour conversation, no, thank you. I got to go. I need to shut this down. I can't handle the extra stimulation. Sometimes it's too much and I can't take it. And I have to back out. I have to seclude myself so that I can regain myself.
Jimmy seen me do that more than once.
Yeah.
I agree.
And it's them.
Yeah.
I got to watch out for myself sometimes. Because if I keep listening to them, I'm going to freak. I'm going to overload. I'm going to arc. I'm going to blow every light at work. And that's not going to be a good thing.
So with that, we're coming close up to the hour and a half. I just wanted to say out here, this is Paranormal Outlaws. We are the outlaws. It's not always about the paranormal. It's about the paranormal, the supernatural, and the spiritual. We open the door. We talk about anything here. And I want to say thank you to all you new and old ghost riders, and thank you for all you new. And Stephen, thank you. Labar, thank you for in Siberia. Thank you for being here. It's been a pleasure. I love to have it when our own family joins us, like Kim, like Rhonda, like Susan. And I want to acknowledge all of you. Thank you, Ashley and Miss Linda. I'm so proud of you once again. My own brother, thank you for joining in, Rob. It's always a pleasure when you're with us, and hopefully, you'll see a lot more of him. Hopefully, in 2024, on the special episodes and special show coming. Ashley, of course, thank you so much for again being here. Stephen, again, it's such a pleasure to have you on the show. All of you, if I missed anybody, I do apologize. But I just want to say thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. And we do air the first Saturday is as we can, the first Saturday of every month. He said something humorous to me this week. He goes, "So this is your show," and I stopped and I looked right at him and I messaged back and said, "This is our show." This show started as a general live on the fan page, and it's now moved into a show that people look forward to now. To get straight talk. We take all questions. Nobody's turn around. Yeah, as long as you're respectful, everybody's opinions allowed. So we thank you all for tuning into this, and hopefully we are delivering what we promised we would, and that's to help mentor, teach, guide, and be there for people who have questions. And if we can't, as you can see, there's people in our chat that are right there for you. Rhonda is a certified medium. Same with Mama Susan. There's many, many people that come here, talk with us, deliver their own advice, or actually listen to us because we all are learning. I learned from Keith. I learned from the Hangman. I learned from Renee. And then I learned for the rest of my family. So sometimes I'll open the show. Sometimes it's Keith. It's just how we rose. And in 2024, you'll see a new outlaw join the pack. So we're looking forward to having him with us as well. And that's going to be very unique because it's another crossover. And I think that's just showing growth. And I cannot wait. So I would say from me, the Hitman, to all of you ghost riders and travelers and those like, thank you so much. And I hope you have an amazing Merry Christmas or whatever your holiday is celebrating.
Yes, Merry Yule. Happy Yule.
Whatever.
Take this holiday. If you really want to get in touch with your ancestors, somebody needs to hear this. So if you really want to do this and you want to start your journey, this holiday season is the best way to do it.
Yep.
Start now.
Just start now. You're at the perfect time. You're at your table.
Yeah.
Say, hey, Dad, Mom, what was Grandpa like? What was Grandma like? Start with that.
And
let that lead you to your journey.
Do it while you still can. Because many times your mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, whatever, they might get Alzheimer's or something and will pass unexpectedly, and you're not able to. So do it while you can. Take advantage.
Yeah, that's something that happens anytime me and my cousins get together. I'm the oldest one out of the cousins, and they will ask me a ton of questions about how grandma and grandpa was.
Listen and cherish that.
Listen and notice, because even animals can come through.
And pay attention to what they're trying to teach you now. Don't be like me, who blew it off. They were trying to teach me all the time. I didn't even realize it. I thought they were just bugging me. No, they're trying to teach me and prepare me for life. I didn't pay attention. I should have.
And that's where we're going to leave the show right there. Ghost Riders and those alike, thank you for tuning in onto this month's show. We hopefully were able to deliver some good information to you. We can again thank you enough. And we look forward to what 2024 brings. And when we return in 2024, there'll be some new things, even with this show. So we will see you on this show next year. Happy New Year's and Merry Christmas.
That.
See y'all.
Bye.